Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video today we're going to talk about my top 5 driving tips. Let's see if we can get you hitting that long dog a little bit further. Let's get into it. That was the cringiest thing I've ever done in my life. Okay, so we're using a bit of multicam today. We've got this one set up here and we have also got this one set up here. We're going to be talking through some setup ideas when it comes to this kind of video. So, tip number 1. First tip that's going to get you driving that golf ball better. Ball position needs to be just inside left heel. So if I'm to put my club down, stance just slightly wider than shoulder width apart, ball position just inside left heel. Somewhere around about there is perfect. One thing that you may notice with that, tip number 2, is that we have got a tilt away from the target once my ball position is further forward. So I don't want to see you getting that ball position correct and then having a lean that's pretty neutral, as if you were to hit an iron shot. We see those shoulders pretty level. I want to see you tilted away from the target. Best way to do this, take your driver's shaft and just feel as though that the head, as we go this way, that head is just hitting the inside of my left thigh in this case. If you're a left-handed golfer, it'd be the inside of your right thigh. So that's what we've got going off there. Tilt away from the target, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is something that I see a lot of amateur golfers doing, and the tip is don't rush the transition. So I see a lot of amateur golfers really rush from the top of the backswing. So what you almost need to feel is that we have a real nice solid wind up, and then from there, just let the lower body start to turn. Don't feel as though you're rushing it with the hands and the arms. So remembering tip 1 and 2, good ball position, bit of a tilt away from the target, don't rush that transition, start to turn the lower body, keep it nice and smooth from the top. Tip number 4 is another one that I've seen in a lot of amateur golfers. So we have the intention to hit this golf ball as hard as we can. That means obviously we need to grip this golf club as tight as we can, right? No, wrong. Keep that grip pressure nice and loose. That's just going to allow the forearms to be nice and supple, mean that we can rotate the forearms in the way that we need to square the club face up. And again, keeping your grip nice and loose, or certainly looser, is going to help with that idea that we just spoke about, keeping that transition nice and smooth. So tip number 4 is keep that grip pressure nice and loose. And finally, tip number 5, once we've got all those first 4 in place, I want to see a nice full shoulder turn. By that, I mean go as far back as you can, keeping centered. So I don't want to see anyone swaying off the ball going this way. We need to make as nice full shoulder turn as we can, keeping nice and centered. That's what we want to see. So tip number 5, nice big full shoulder turn. If we put all those 5 together, should look a little something like this. Okay, so they were my top 5 driving tips. Just to recap, number 1, ball position just inside your left heel. Tip number 2, make sure you're tilting away from the target. Tip number 3, don't rush your transition. Tip number 4, keep that grip pressure nice and loose. And tip number 5, make sure we're making a full shoulder turn. If you are to incorporate all these 5 ideas into a drive, hopefully it's going to get you hitting it further, straighter, more consistent. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more instructional content on the channel moving forward, please make sure you're smashing that like button. If this gets over 50 likes, I'll do something similar again. Make sure you subscribe if you've not done so already. Until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers.